back to my channel, TechGalDiaries. It's been a while, and I wanted to share something that I've been using as part of my day-to-day in my current role as a business development representative. Um, in tech sales, there's a lot of tools that people use. So if you're clicking on this video, it's probably likely that your company has this tool called Demandbase, but maybe you're not too sure how to use it, why it's really useful. Maybe you're just trying to learn some new tips and tricks on how to get the most out of this platform. Because there's actually so much in Demandbase that can help you with your daily prospecting and follow-ups that I don't think a lot of BDRs are currently using. So just to give a quick overview, if you're pretty new to Demandbase, what it is I'm just reading off my phone from their own description on their website. Basically, they help B2B companies hit their revenue goals by identifying buying groups most likely to purchase. So the gist of what this platform does is it provides a list. You can filter by timeline, either daily, weekly, monthly, or throughout the whole year, which people from these companies have been looking at your website, have been downloading content, which companies have the most intent. They use like different signals. And it's just been really useful to find some new activity, new accounts, and new people to go after when you're prospecting. Sometimes we can hit a rut where we don't know who to go after next. Maybe we feel like we've reached out to everybody that we could this week. How do we hit that next target when we just feel like we're running out of pipeline? We don't have new prospects to go after. So the Demandbase has been really helpful for me. I have to say, since using it, I almost never run out of ideas on who I can go talk to next. So this video it's just like a good way to kind of show kind of how I've been using it. If you guys have other ways that you've been using it, please feel free to drop them in the comments below, and let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are now, and you're probably wondering, why are we in Slack? I thought this was a demand-based tutorial. Well, you're right. But there is a part where you can connect the demand-based app into Slack so you get notifications, and that's what I want to show you guys. Once you're in the demand-based app in Slack, you get semi-real-time notifications of when people read certain web pages on your guys' website. So as we can see, 18 a.m., this company, Excel Energy, read this specific page on our website. This other company read this page. And you can kind of just like go through and see who's been like, scrolling on your guys' content, who's been reading what. A lot of times it wouldn't really show you which specific person read it. Sometimes once in a while you do get a name, but a lot of times, as you can see, it just gives the company name. It's kind of anonymized. You don't really know who in that company has been looking, but it's pretty accurate that somebody from there has been. So what I would do is I would copy the account. As you can see, let's take, for example, Excel Energy. Let's go into my demand base, and this is just my demand base homepage, the dashboard, which might look familiar. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy paste that company that we just saw from the notification into the search bar. We see there's this company, Excel Energy. We click on it, and then we want to put the date back to as far as possible. So usually I put last 12 months. You could put even longer if you want, but usually I think 12 months gives a pretty good picture. If there's any names where it found specific people that's been looking from Excel Energy, it would show up. But since we don't see any people here, then we can kind of take a look at what time they've been looking at, what websites. And it seems it's mostly been earlier this year. So, for something like this, maybe you could go do a quick Google search, Excel Energy, LinkedIn, and then put in your ICP. So if you're selling like an IT product, maybe you look up who's the director of IT at Excel Energy or the CTO. For the product that I'm selling, it's HR related. So I would look up who's the VPs of HR, who's the CHRO, basically just finding people at this company And then you could possibly have a conversation with them saying that, hey, I noticed that there was quite some activity earlier this year, just kind of want to see if blah, blah. And then you could kind of get a conversation going that way. Okay, so let's go into the main dashboard. Um, Say that we just want to look at the dashboard and then kind of see which accounts, which people want to go after. The Slack notifications that I mentioned, that's one way we can find out new people, new accounts. The dashboard also gives a pretty good idea of which accounts and people to go after a lot of times as well. Um, Depending on how your dashboard is set up, a lot of times, depending on the SaaS product or the product that you guys are selling, the demand base will feature different ICPs. For us, since it's HR related product, it would be more HR personas. But if it's a different kind of product like cybersecurity, it could be completely different. So, the nice thing about demand base, it's kind of already set up in that way where it highlights the people in your ICP at the top. Um, so let's go into known engaged people by persona for a second. What I like to do here is kind of just took a look at all the people that Demandbase knows has been on our website or has some sort of activity, whether they attended a webinar with us, whether they attended an in-person event with us. And then you get their names in this column, also their titles, which is quite important too, a lot of times, and the account name. So then usually you can go into a specific one. So let's say for this one, we can go into ingredient. We see there's a very high demand-based score. We can see specific people and what they've done. So, for example, this person, she's filled out quite a few forms, visited 12 web pages. This person has attended two of our in-person events. So then if we wanted to go into a specific person, we click on your name. And then we can see exactly which day they visited what website and what they responded to. So this is quite nice just to kind of, get an idea of how much they've already seen about the product that you're selling, how much they know about your company already, which events they have interacted with you guys before. So if you haven't already, then you could really reach out to this person, via LinkedIn, phone, email, and have something to go off of. Um, and then the dashboard, I would say that's just a quick glance. You probably already seen that part of demand base. Another way that you can really find some hidden ideas is if you go into the most engaged section, sometimes you can find companies that have a high score, and you can go into these and then look at which specific people have looked at the website and then prospect from there. For another one, if you haven't looked at already, is the People tab. On the People tab, you can sort people by engagement scores. So then if you sort by engagement minutes here, you can actually see which people um, basically in the history of, demand-based data, who has interacted with your guys' content website the most. So um, I could just keep scrolling, and there's just hundreds of people that I might not have been aware of. Like, once you've been in demand base enough, some of these names will be familiar. But if you guys haven't taken a look at this page yet, I would highly recommend it. It's quite comprehensive. And then, as always, you can click into their specific names to find out exactly what they looked at. And then there's a new section in the man base that I've been using as well. There's this handshake icon. So if you click on the handshake icon, um, it's it's a little bit non-intuitive at first, I would say, but if you look at the last three, sometimes they can give good accounts to kind of just like um get you thinking to see if there are people that you could reach out to from those accounts. So for example, for this one, it says there's 3 known people that have visited. So maybe you want to go into this one a little bit more. And then um, this page, I honestly don't really use too much. But we can see that they've been visiting our page a lot. So what I would do is I would copy whichever account that you're a little bit curious on, and then go back to the original homepage. Now you can see there's 2 people that for sure have been interacting with us. So this is just a way to kind of get some more ideas on specific names. That's one way I really like using demand base is getting specific names and personas that I might not have reached out to already. And it's also a good way for me to discover accounts that may not have been top of mind for me. If you really wanted to, you could even put on no sales touches for 14 days to really be like, okay, which ones have I not really interacted with? And I could go after. But otherwise, even just looking at something like this, you could go into almost any one of these 5 known engaged people, and then you could find a lot of info on these accounts. So yeah, just try this out. I know that a lot of times we just want to stick to the main dashboard page, but if you go into each individual company, you can find a lot of personas. And the man base is really nice in giving specific names of people. So this is really nice when you're running ideas of who else I can talk to that probably is a little bit warmer, knows a little bit about our product already. Um, it could be the make or break between somebody willing to talk or not. It's just been a really good opener for me as well, even if I don't know who exactly from that company has been looking at our product and our website. So, yeah, give that a try and let me know if there's any other tips and tricks that you guys know of in demand base that I currently don't. So, yeah, good luck everybody with prospecting, and I hope you like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.